Ghana's High Commissioner to the UK and Ireland, Papoose Sankwama, is also said to be in an ICU at the London hospital after contracting the virus. Utu Senya East MC justifies use of force on recalcitrant Kaswa traders, defying a directive to close the main markets there.
Being the task force that I will order, if you ask you to move and then you are reluctant and you tell us that we will ensure that you leave the place. It's not an assault, it's just a compliance.
In Kumasi, Good Friday saw hordes of shoppers trooping into markets in the city to stock up as the lockdown is extended another week.
She says the frontage of the market is empty and we all have been pushed down here. How do we observe the social distancing?
In business,
private schools asked to be considered in coronavirus stimulus package as they lament they will not be able to pay salaries.
We're not informed that there was going to be a close down of schools, so that affected us a lot. So financially, we are suffering.
Also in the bulletin, Field Assemblyman aspirant Honorable Aponche lives up to a campaign promise to serve free porridge to residents of Edukrom Nima despite being rejected at last year's district level elections.
I say provide molokoko and then tea, community breakfast. Now you see, if he there, now you will not suffer.
A visually impaired old woman from Sabona in the northeast region whose modest lifelong ambition to sleep on a mattress touched many hearts around the world is sending blessings to all who helped to make that dream come true. And you want to hear that.
Right now, she's so happy. She wishes stones could germinate. Like right now, it will germinate in her heart. Amen.
That's certainly one feel-good story you'd want to stay tuned in for. I'm Israel Lyon, anchoring from home, and remember, Johnny's Prime is live on digital terrestrial TV because we're free to air. The bulletin is also on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144.
My name is Aisha Ibrahim. We're live from our studios in Kokomlemle in Accra on digital address GA09925339. Please stay tuned in.
Joy News Prime Headlines was brought to you by Milo.
We start with reports that renowned physician and rector of the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons, Professor Jacob Plangerul, has died after contracting COVID-19. Professor Plangerul is said to have died at the University of Ghana Medical Center Friday morning, where he had been receiving treatment. Details are still coming in, but a number of prominent doctors have been eulogizing him and his invaluable contribution to the medical profession. Elsewhere, Ghana's High Commissioner to the UK and Ireland, Papoose Sankwama, has reportedly been diagnosed with the novel coronavirus. Reports say Mr. Sankwama tested positive for COVID-19 on Friday, April 10, 2020, and is currently in an intensive care unit at a London hospital. The head of Ghana's mission in the UK and Ireland since June 2017 is, however, said to be responding to treatment.
Yeah.
Now back here in Ghana, the Eastern region should be seeing a significant increase in the number of COVID-19 cases confirmed there. This was after more workers of Afcon Construction were confirmed positive for the virus. An expatriate staff of the company was first tested last week, compelling the Ghana Health Service to initiate contact tracing for his colleagues and others he had interacted with. Regional Minister Eric Kwachi therefore confirmed to Joy News correspondent Maxwell Kudoko the region now has 15 more cases, all of them Indian. Our correspondent Kofi Sian, who is also in the region, has been speaking with the municipal health director, who says 5 more cases were confirmed Friday morning, bringing to 21 the total number of COVID-19 cases in the region. He joins me via Skype right now. Hello, Kofi. What else has the municipal health director been telling you?
Well, Israel, as I speak with you, the municipal health director says that they are still on the surveillance looking out for more people who they think might have come into contact with the expatriates, the Indian expatriates who works with the company that is building the rail from Akosombo to Tema in the greater Accra region. So I can tell you that the health workers are not sleeping. They are working hard to ensure that they get more people to test for the virus.
Now, Kofi, we're also learning that the cases happen to be Indian. Are they all of the same nationality?
Well, the cases that were tested positive, that is the 20 we were told in the morning, 19 of them are Indians and 1 is a Ghanaian. So in all, I can tell you that 20 of them are Indians, if you add the first case to it, plus today's own.
Now, we currently know that the number of people who have COVID-19 in Ghana has shot up at 378. Do we know if the Eastern region numbers have already been added to this?
Well, the Eastern region, the number that the president reported yesterday, 378, included the 15 that was reported by the health director this morning. It excludes the 5 that were also reported by the same person this afternoon. And I can tell you that the regional minister has been also speaking to a radio station, and he says that there has been an additional 8, making 28 of the positive cases in the Eastern region. So as I speak with you, the regional minister is confirming 8 more cases. So if you add that to the 20, it becomes 28.
Now, Kofi, finally, how is all of this impacting on the company's operations? I mean, Afcon Construction, apparently with the construction of the major railway line there.
Well, when the first case was reported, the District Security Council, led by the Municipal Chief Executive, Simon Tete, ensured that they halt the activity. So from the time, that is last week, when the first case was reported, they have ceased operations in the area.
All right, thank you very much. Our correspondent in the Eastern region. And moving on, leader of Ghana's COVID-19 test team, Dr. Samuel Kaba Akuriye, says health workers remain unfazed and will continue to put their lives on the line to contain the coronavirus in the country and deliver care to patients. Dr. Kaba says a recognition among the general population that the service they are delivering at this critical period is priceless, coupled with the incentive package announced by the president, is enough motivation to keep them going. He has been speaking exclusively with my colleague Latif Idris about how Ghana can go ahead of the pandemic.
You know, you are making an hypothetical this and that. If we have all the results today, right? It can happen that you have all the results and they are all negative and just few positive. You got to be hopeful. And you got to have confidence and trust in God that
we also have to prepare for the worst.
So that's exactly what we're doing. We're working hard but preparing for the worst. So right now we are preparing so hard for the worst. If all the results come and they are positive, what do we do? Even without the results coming, we have recruited new people and we are training them. to stay ahead in case the result come and they are positive. We have people there to be able to manage.
So that's going by the president's word that we are going ahead of the virus.
Exactly. We are working hard to always be a step ahead or two.
Frontline workers, are you motivated enough?
Well, you heard the president talk of it, and people are happy. People are very happy, and also a lot of people. You see, one of the motivations for me is when people acknowledge the job you do, and most of the people considered as frontline workers. They get calls. They say, "Oh, we are with you. You are in our prayers. Oh, good work for what you're doing." Even that moral boosting factor where people acknowledge, people are happy with you, makes you even happy extremely than whatever they can give to you. I'm not saying that what you can get is not important. It is, but knowing that it's priceless what you are doing, because I have kids, all the health workers have kids, but we are putting our life online.
Traders at Kaswa in the Central Region are asking the Wutu Senya East Municipal Assembly to reopen the main market for use. This was after it was shut down after the traders failed to comply with social distancing protocols. The Assembly subsequently designated 4 satellite markets within the municipality where trading could resume, but market women to relocate and have displayed their wares at a park near the market, causing traffic congestion. They tell Joy News the designated satellite markets won't be good for business. MCE for the Wutu Senya East Municipal Assembly, Michael Esuman Mensah, has justified the use of force against some traders at Kaswa who defied the decision to close the main market there. This was after they failed to comply with social distancing protocols to minimize the spread of COVID-19. The Assembly subsequently designated 4 satellite markets within the municipality where trading could resume, but the market women refused to relocate. Parker Wilson visited the area and has come through with this report.
Just behind me is the Datis Park, where the Kaswa market women have moved to continue their trading a day after the Assembly shut down the main market over breach of social distancing protocols. Well, here at Datis Market, it is not happening. That lockdown directive has been disregarded by traders of those markets, and for them it's basically because the Datis Park, it is quite small, and that all of them have been compelled to move here. That is why the place is congested and crowded. If you see behind me, people have to shove themselves before they get into the market. When you see the traders there is no social distancing working. The space in between them is less than 1 feet. That is quite dangerous for them and defeats the purpose of which the assembly decided to move them. Well, so essentially, there seems to be some kind of misunderstanding here. The market women are also alleging that they can't go to the different places. That's why they've all gathered here at the Datus Park to continue their training activities and, of course, breaching the social distancing protocol. We have managed to get a reaction from the MC for this area, and he has been explaining why the task force has been taking some measures and also seizing properties of some individuals who are recalcitrant and are flouting the rules.
It's very true that there was a shutdown of the market. However, they were not only directed to the Datus School Park. Indeed, we have located 4 different satellite markets, i.e. the Odubankwe Zion School Park, the Datus School Park, the Anglican School Park at Akwili, and then Ofankor DA School Park at Ofankor. So clearly, those who don't live within the perimeters of Ewutu Senya East, i.e. those coming from Akate, Asasawa, Mori, Apam and stuff, they came, and when they realized that the market was locked, they just decided to relocate opposite the market, thereby congesting the area and stretching it all the way to Datus market. So what we are doing right now is to advise them and to educate them that this is not the only place they can sell. So as you can see, you see a lot of people moving to the other markets. Those who are recalcitrant and are refusing to go will get their items seized and they will sell it to the orphanage.
But I entered the market, and one of the key reasons why you shut down the main Kasua market was the breach of the social distancing protocol. There they are not observing it. What is assembly?
Yes, it is because of the flow. Right. You understand? They do not understand that they ought to go to other places. And this is the first market day after the shutdown. And so we are taking our time to educate them so that they start moving. And that's why I'm here myself.
So yes. How long are you going to be here with your men with the task force?
We are working and it's getting down. Those who are coming from the nearby villages are getting to understand that indeed we have cancelled market days and that there are 4 other marketplaces they can go and trade. And that's why you can see some people moving. And so very soon they'll go and relocate to those areas, divide themselves accordingly, and then congestion will reduce. No police or military has brutalized anybody. It has been the task force that I will order. If we ask you to move and then you are reluctant and you tell us that we will ensure that you leave the place. It's not an assault, it's just a compliance order, because if you put the item here, we leave the item and put it elsewhere because it must be obeyed. My brother, if we are saying that we shouldn't touch any item, so they should continue and be spreading the disease among themselves, is that what we are coming to? No, we haven't asked you not to sell. We are asking you to move to other satellite markets, and that is emphatic.
Right, so this is the situation here at the Datus market. The task force and the market women seems to be on a different path, and of course it will take the intervention of the assembly and proper education to resolve what is happening here. For Joy News, I am Kwesi Parker Wilson, reporting from Kasua, Datus Park.
And back in the studio, my name is Aisha Ibrahim. There was a heavy congestion at Swami and other markets in Kumasi on Friday as people trooped in to shop for Easter, further complicating efforts to contain the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. The rush appears to have been worsened by the extension of the lockdown. Traders say though they have complied with the shift system instituted by city authorities, the increasing number of shoppers has made nonsense of the preventive measures. They're pleading with market authorities to allow them occupy a space demarcated for parking in order to ease the current human traffic. Nanaya Ojima visited the market and has filed this report.
Hundreds thrown into the market to shop for Easter and also stock up for extended period of the lockdown announced by President Akufo-Addo on Thursday night. At the Swami market, a shift system has been put in place to reduce traders in the market each day. Despite the arrangement, the Easter occasion has seen increased numbers. Here is Market Queen Adra Kufuor.
She says, we have identification cards for traders with which we run the shift system. We observe all the arrangements, but the patrons have increased, hence affecting the social distancing protocol.
Traders and patrons are both unhappy about the situation, insisting empty parking spaces at the market should be made available for use in order to enhance spacing. She says the frontage of the market is empty and we all have been pushed down here. How do we observe the social distancing? 40 vegetable sellers are supposed to be here. Others are also to follow the same procedure, but the designated area is too small for us all.
I came to buy, but I realized the social distancing protocol isn't being observed. COVID-19 is real, so the right thing must be done.
Municipal Chief Executive John Osei-Bobie, however, maintains enough space, including frontage of shops, has been released to traders temporarily. He commits to continuous efforts in dealing with the challenge.
These are people who have come to buy their things and they are getting out. But if that is what you see as the market being crowded, then of course the assembly find it right to shut it down altogether. But we are thinking of the people. That's what we have been doing, pushing these people down to go and occupy those stores. If you get there and somebody come out to say that that place belongs to him or her, you contact me. I'll talk to that person, at least momentarily, to allow you to occupy that space.
From Kumasi for Joy News, Nana Ojima reporting.
Now, whilst the rest of the country worries about the COVID-19 pandemic, 4 more persons have died from cerebrospinal meningitis in the Upper West region, bringing to 37 the number of deaths recorded so far in the region. The number of confirmed cases have also risen from 214 to 247. The hardest hit districts are Nandomen, Nadoli, Kalio, where 22 deaths and 150 cases were recorded. A former member of the Council of State, Dr. Jeda, at an event to donate personal protective equipment and vaccines to the Upper West Region's Health Directorate on behalf of former President Mahama in the fight against COVID-19, and TSM called on the government to look for a pragmatic solution to the perennial death from CSM. Rafiq Salam reports from Wa.
Said Dr. Edward Jeder noted that the region is having a dual battle in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic and the dreaded cerebrospinal meningitis (CSM). The Upper West region is lying on the CSM belt, and it is ritual that person's lives are lost as a result of the disease every year. The much dreaded CSM has claimed as many as 37 lives, way more than the 6 deaths recorded in the Ghana's COVID-19 pandemic. 247 people have also been confirmed to have the disease and are receiving treatment at the various holding centers in the region. Said Dr. Edward Jedari suggested to the government to put in pragmatic strategies to find an antidote to prevent the loss of lives every year.
But you have to remember that once you lose one subject, one Ghanaian, for any reason, it is serious. So the government and through the regional director, the message we want to leave is that they should remember that we are within the endemic zone of the CSM in Africa, and this area is hit together with other countries. So I would suggest the director will help us. There must be some preparation towards the CSM to try to block its resurgence every year at this particular time. But we should prepare against it, not to wait and want to control. What we are doing now is damage repair, and the damage has already been done.
Time now for business, and Daryl Kwal is here with the very latest. Daryl, what do we have for business?
So private school operators are asking for some kind of support. You know, these days
From
of the
government.
coronavirus, everybody
all the
needs
businesses are
some kind of support. So I've been hearing from the Ghana National Association of Private Schools, NAPS, which is calling on government to come to its aid by considering private schools in the 1.2 billion stimulus package for businesses. NAPS says its members are unable to pay salaries of over 20,000 teachers working with private schools, even though the government has approved for taxes, SNIT and other levies to be deferred for the next 3 months. NAPS alleges that some officials of the Ghana Revenue Authority are still demanding payments to be made. Executive member Angela Latte has been speaking to Joy Business.
We were not informed that there was going to be a close down of schools, so that affected us a lot. So financially, we are suffering, and that has affected our staff members as well. And with this lockdown as well, partial lockdown, most people are not supposed to go out, so at least they should be able to have a little income to buy some foodstuffs to depend on at home. And this has become a challenge as well, because every day staff members call to ask whether they'll be receiving some monies, and they also talk about their challenges that they are also having at home, not being able to fend for themselves because of our inability to pay them.
You as an association, you are asking government to do what for you in particular?
Right. It's not good to run an organization or a school on loans, you understand, but at least because of the challenges, the financial challenges we are finding ourselves in, we want to ask if there could be a package for private schools to support us during these trying moments in terms of financial support, yes. And also we have this crucial challenge when it comes to GRA and SNIT, Social Security. There's this penalty that we are supposed to pay if we are not able to pay our SNIT by the 14th of every month, and Social Security on the 14th of every month. It means the SNIT, you have to pay 3% of the amount that you are supposed to pay to SNIT as penalty, and it's accrued on daily basis. And with the GRA too, if you are not able to pay on the 14th, the penalty the next day is 500 cedis, and any other day after that is 10 cedis.
And it's not just private schools. Tricycle operators in Kumasi say government's directive compelling them to carry 1 instead of 3 passengers is taking a toll on their business. Government has had to enforce social distancing measures and a lockdown in some parts of the country to curb the spread of coronavirus. The tricycle operators are calling for support. Here's Prince Appiah's report.
Here is the tricycle or Pragya station at Abuabo, until recently a buzzing setup. The rickshaws have become the most preferred means of transportation for traders and other residents of Asokore-Mampong municipality. It is the source of livelihood for most of the youth in this area. Said Alaji Subaru is one of the operators.
I was unemployed when I completed my school, so in order not to sit idle, I decided to drive this to support myself and to support my family. When market is good, sometimes you can make 120 cedis in total a day. Use some to buy your fuel, and then use some to pay for the machine, and then use some for your upkeep.
We spoke with Subaru before the partial lockdown of Accra, Kumasi, Kasoa and Tema came into effect. Today, the station is dead. Said and his colleagues are frustrated.
We have wife and children. We are working this week and solve our problem. Now they have weak us to stop working. Even this morning I just wake up. The policeman has grabbed us away and just come and park the vehicle. Now, you know, Ghana is hard. The work is hand to mouth. If you don't go to work, how can you give your wife plus your children some money to eat? Now they are breakers. You go to see our people are sitting down. No, we don't know how to do it.
So more than 20 of these tricycles, popularly known as Pragya or Adedita, are seated here, idle, because they cannot work. It is because authorities have asked them not to operate. If they can, then only the driver and no passengers at the back. And that has not sat well with them. As Asokore-Mampong Municipal Chief Executive Alidu Seidu emphasizes government's directive on passenger capacity of vehicles, especially the rickshaws, is to ensure social distancing.
Well, it's considered as a motorbike. Now, once you cannot carry anybody apart from you, the rider, in natural sense, it means that they cannot also work. That is what it means. That there is a demand of the situation that now Pragya cannot work again. So that is where we are now.
Such is the situation of many persons in the informal sector, at least until the lockdown is over. Prince Apia reporting.
Now, Cocoa Board says it is putting in place new structures as it anticipates a delay in the cocoa loan syndication because of the coronavirus pandemic. Charles Aite has more.
Cocoa Board disclosed to Joy Business that the 2020 and 2021 syndication loan may delay to make room for new processes in acquiring the facility, all because of the closure of ports and banks over COVID-19. This, some stakeholders believe, may affect the syndication loan negatively. Chief Executive of Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahin Edu, who spoke to Joy Business, said new structures have been put in place, including online conference calls, to fast-track the acquisition of the facility.
Yeah, syndication loan processes, usually starts around February. And so this is a time when we should be doing syndication. Of course, because of the challenge, things are not normal. And because of the number of interactions has been stalled, but that doesn't mean that the windows are completely closed. As we speak, we are also doing a number of conference calls, and we've rescheduled some of the meetings because there should have been some meetings outside Ghana that because of the COVID-19 challenge, we cannot travel. So we are doing conference calls, and then we are also rescheduling the program of syndication. Maybe the timing may delay.
2020-2021 loan facility is to raise cocoa yields per hectare and increase Ghana's overall production, which includes improving irrigation systems, rehabilitating aged and deceased infected farms. The fund will also help increase warehouse capacity and provide support to local cocoa processing companies.
Were some important tips for you as we head into the weekend. In our summaries tonight, banks and their borrowers are beginning negotiations as the coronavirus pandemic bites hard.
Following an official statement by the Ghana Association of Bankers on Monday that its members comprising of all 23 universal banks licensed to operate in the country are reducing their lending rate on both existing and imminent loans by 200 basis points 2%, all the banks are already being inundated by enquiries from their indebted customers as to how this will work, coupled with requests for bilateral negotiations to restructure their outstanding loans. In particular, most customers are requesting for restructuring of loan repayment schedules. Forex traders who filed for dollars in Bank of Ghana's latest forex sales have been offered $25 million. Although BOG received biddings amounting to $78.75 million, it accepted 31.74% out of the total amount. In a report published by the central bank and controlling the supply of dollars, the BOG said a total of 108 bids were submitted in the latest forex auction, which was carried out on Tuesday, April 7, 2020. The National Communications Authority, NCA, has said it has taken measures to ensure that the public is protected from the effect of radiations. The NCA said as part of its consumer protection mandate, it has established a type approval laboratory with test and measurement equipment for radio frequencies RF, electromagnetic fields EMF, and specific absorption rate SAR. The NCA further stated that future 5G deployments in Ghana will also utilize some frequencies below 6 GHz as well as higher frequencies and within safe limits.
That's your business update for now. The news continues after this break.
Welcome back to Joy News Prime Time now for Showbiz. Becky is here with the very latest from the world of showbiz. Becky,
hi.
How you doing?
Fine,
Lady in Yellow.
Yes.
And I love your puff.
Thank you very much.
Easy is in my hometown today.
Yeah. Salam alaikum. So Aisha,
you want me to pull out my phone from somewhere?
Please don't pull anything off. But Aisha,
okay, so what's this whole thing about Efao home base?
It's the only
with your
song
parents,
that has been trending since yesterday, and we have our very own Kojo Yankson in that video. But
yes, I saw
that's not why we're here. But the musician himself, EL baby, not your EL,
not my EL, but the proper EL.
Proper EL
sure.
Joins us via Skype. EL, if you can hear us, are you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you guys doing up?
Fantastic. EL, your song has been trending since yesterday. What motivated the concept of the video that's got everybody talking?
Well, it's just the song that I happened to record at a time where there was a lot of people making lots of comments about, who Asmas and others have been. And so I just thought I'd address that in the most creative way as I can. So that's when I got the idea.
So all the specific rumors that you talked about in the song, the fact that you're living with your parents, and also you lost Vim after you won the VGMAs, and also whether or not you smoke weed, and also whether you're gay. Are all these true?
Well, you hear different things from different people, but I might have exaggerated on a few rumors, especially the living with my parents. I don't live with my parents without my parents. But yeah, there's a lot in there that is actual facts, like it's factual. People think it's true about me as an individual. Okay. So yeah, I'm intended to address.
So I realized that you chose some personalities for this video. What motivated your choice for this, those personalities, including Kojo Yankson?
Kojo Yankson is one of my favorite people. I mean, whenever we can, we link up and talk about different things over drink. So it was just a collection of people who I really respect and people who I kind of look up to and I very, very much admire, So
what do you make of his performance? What do you make of his performance?
Kojo Yankson is a rapper of the year. If you would notice, Kojo Yankson actually did the most lines in the song, in the whole video. So we did that for a reason, because we know he has bars. So big up to Kojo Yankson.
He has bars. That's new.
But more seriously, we are in the era of COVID-19 and everybody is being affected by this. How is it affecting you and the music industry?
Well, affecting me, it's not affecting me in a very serious way, because me, myself, I stay at home almost all the time except when I go to the studio. Now I've moved the studio to my house. So it really doesn't bother me that much as an individual. But then the music industry is going to suck, because artists, we are nomads. We have to move from one place to another. We have to expose ourselves and communicate with our fans directly. So it's going to affect us. But we are creative, so we're always going to find a way.
And have you figured out how you're going to be making money, even as public gatherings have been banned?
I've been making money since, before having to be in a public setting, So there are different ways that we can do it. Just for me,
how?
The internet is one of the most powerful tools that are available to artists and creators, musicians these days. So if I go on Instagram right now, I see a lot of artists still contacting their fans, still able to access the And so the better you get at doing that, the more this whole lockdown is going to be a hindrance.
EL, as an entertainer, do you think that you have a role to play in educating people to stay safe in this era?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. There's a message that we have to put across to our fan base and to our followers, and that is to isolate. You know, this virus thrives on hopping from one individual to another, and once we are able to eliminate that gap between ourselves, that helps the transmission. We will be safe. So I think help your brother, help your sister by staying away from them for this meantime, and then in the future we can both together, all get together and practice.
Izzy, do you have anything to ask EL?
Well, not much, but I'm still in shock since I saw him in the church, and I'm wondering how did he end up there? He's been saying that he was going to tell us a story sometime later.
Right. The story is very simple. It's actually boring. I made a new friend. I was going to buy a certain item in town, and the guy who was dealing in that item said, yo, join me, like, come to church. And because I wanted that item to be bad, I was like, yeah, definitely, I'm going to come over the fellowship with you. I actually like going to church and being raised that way. So I was in the back of the church, and the pastor started walking around. You know, he's making different prophecies and speaking about different things. He comes very close to me, and I'm like, oh God, no, this guy should not recognize me, please, please. And by God's grace or by whatever, he walks away to the front of the church. So I thought I was safe. As soon as he got to the front of the church, he was like, yes, that Rasta man, stand up. So, yeah. So
anyway, I mean, one of the favorite lines from your songs, and I love your songs, is "Lomi." Me.
Yeah.
Oh, you want him to do that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, Izzy was talking.
I'm saying that one of the favorite lines from your songs is where you say "Lomi."
Lomi, yes.
What does that mean?
I tend to say that a lot. Lomi is my name. I'm called Elom.
Okay.
Some people close to me don't like Elom. They like Lomi.
Okay, so Lomi. Okay, Lomi.
Yeah. EL, are we going to have an online concert from you soon?
An online concert?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good idea. I haven't thought about that. I don't know. Probably very soon. If you guys will attend.
Aisha, do you have anything else? Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We really appreciate your time here.
And stay safe for us. Let's do this together and finish together.
Right, so Aisha, let's talk about an online concert that is going to happen on Easter Monday.
Okay.
And this is put together by government. They're saying that, you know, usually when it's Easter, we get to go to Kwewu and do all the things.
But this time around, we can't have that.
So we have an online concert
to entertain us. And who's putting that together?
The government, you know.
Okay, I'm sure it will be championed by Ministry of Tourism.
Yeah. So we spoke to the Minister for Tourism, Barbara Otinjesi.
Notice that some of them are doing virtual concerts. It is very good because they want to engage with their fan base. You can do a virtual concert. Your fans can watch you and you continue to engage with them during this period. And then when the pandemic is over, we can go back to our business as usual. We are also on Monday, Easter Monday. During this Easter period, it was a very good period for us as an industry. We do paragliding, we do the Kwewu festivals and all that. Now we cannot do it. On Easter Monday, we are planning to hold a virtual concert. A lot of the musicians have signed on to be part of it. We are going to do it as a benefit concert to raise funds to also support the government initiative by donating to the COVID-19 Trust Fund. So it will be our little contribution from the industry to the government fund. So I'll urge all the members of the public, when the concert is going on, to go on and watch log on and watch and then donate so that we can raise some money to also support the government's initiative.
I will be definitely looking forward to this particular
I'll be looking forward too. Yeah. Thank you so much, Becky, for bringing us showbiz. And for those of you watching on Joy Print, that will be it for now. The news continues on Joy News.
Field Assemblyman aspirant for Edukrom Nima, Ibrahim Adabo, also known as Honorable Aponchin, has lived up to a promise to serve residents of the community free porridge despite being rejected by the people at last year's district level elections. The field aspirant, known for his outrageous electoral promises, which he often turned into songs, lost the December election by quite a significant margin despite taking his campaign to the national level. Well, months after his defeat, he's delivering on a promise to serve members of the community, Morley Koko, as part of his contribution to helping the vulnerable held down by the COVID-19 lockdown. He tells Joy News correspondent Mahmoud Nuruddin he wishes to do more.
Efremi Najat Mahmoud Ibrahim, me Honorable Akuya, Honorable Aponche, ni woman organizer, Pechi and Aponche Baha, I say BB area because of lockdown. I say I am as a lockdown abbey. Nipa bebre enya eduanindi.
Oh, I tell it earlier. Since 3 months today, I said government should provide free community breakfast every in the morning. I didn't say pizza and chiches and then fried rice. No, I said provide molokoko and then tea. So if the boys wake up in the morning, they can go and enjoy themselves on the center. Community breakfast. Now you see, if he there, now you will not suffer. But he didn't there. So now I make my mind that I will do the molokoko small because yesterday somebody go and break some shop or provision store at behind my barber shop opposite. They break it. They say when they go and break it, they screaming say, yeah, come there. No alajimu. You know that some have been chimuchi. Come there. In front of me, and break it. And I'll be back at and somebody come and call me and say that come and see what happened at there. And I also follow him and go. And the time I want to reach there, I saw the policeman come there. And the boys ran away. Yesterday night, they say they didn't get, it's not still, they say they didn't get food to chop. They break somebody provision store. I'll go there and let you video it there. The time they go there, they didn't say, oh, we want to go and steal it and sell it too. They say they won't not go get chop to, they don't get food to chop. Yesterday, somebody say he didn't chop, or yesterday last. 3 days today, somebody say he didn't chop from morning up to evening. He didn't chop, he can't sleep. And then the morning time, he also woke up. He didn't chop. And then afternoon time, he collapsed.
The porridge tastes good. It contains a lot of things.
Gosh, very delicious. Aponche is very, very good. And it's very, very harmful. It's very, very calm. We regretted for not voting for Honorable Aponche. Me, Honorable Aponche, I'm not get something like I not get anything to provide somebody rice, milk, and sugar with bread for house to house, door to door. So now, if this is our constituency, Aswasi constituency, Aswasi Kumasi Aswasi constituency. That's it. That's Mampong Municipal Assembly. Yeah. So yeah, I am. So I want the members who is, if it is your, if you are MPO, MCO, director, organizer, chairman, if you are Malamo, if you are Imamo, if you get rich, come and come and support everybody. Any rice, any door-to-door delivery. No more for more. Maybe me on our countrymen, everyone you. I mean, my Nemo, Mamu be the same. More any rice, no more from door-to-door delivery. And yes, a very lie, we ain't lie. Bobia Buano, because Yentu Kojuma Kodebian, me say, Matisse, one of our country with big fat brain. Matisse almost on best my 2 weeks account. No more here. I'm lucky a workshop, Nana, the alcohol, copy to my we are near the Scanama, your family no money at the need. You say one workshop near 2. The better they have workshop in Angiska. It's almost a mile 2 weeks. 2 weeks in that year. And then your coronavirus never kuyo. Come never
Yaya Kwanjit is a visually impaired old lady from Sambona in the northeast region whose modest lifelong ambition was to sleep on a mattress. Her modesty touched so many around the world. When her story was aired on Joy News, there was a torrent of outpouring of love towards her. She eventually had 5 mattresses and many other gifts in cash and in kind. Yaya Kwanjit was so overwhelmed when the items reached her, she wouldn't stop blessing those who sent her the gifts. She told Jojo Kobna she's convinced with the love shown her that even a stone can germinate.
Old, blind and poor. Yaya Kwanjit had one wish.
Before I
die, I want to also sleep on a mattress. Now, I don't even have a mat. The only thing I want is a mattress.
That wish shocked many people. Yaya also dreamed of a day she would eat anything she wanted.
Poverty is when you want to eat banku and fish, pussy, drink malt, and any other drink, but you don't have the means.
Her story touched many kind-hearted people who came to her rescue. Cash donations and gifts poured in very fast. Plastic table, chairs, malt drink, Milo, canned fish, clothes and many more. She posed in front of her gifts. Listening to the kind of gifts donated to her touched her heart, and she instantaneously burst into prayer. Before the interview, Yaya settles down for a chocolate drink and biscuits. Yaya says the kind gesture of Ghanaians has given her hope that even a stone can germinate.
It's too big.
Right now, she's so happy. She wish stones could germinate. Like right now, it will germinate in her heart because she's so happy. She's full of joy.
Now she has more than one mattress. In fact, she has 5 mattresses, 2 of them donated by Latest Foam. I inquired what she would do with the mattresses. She said she would donate the rest to the less fortunate in her community. But she manages to crack a joke.
All the mattresses around her. She will put one leg on one, another leg on another one hand in one guy. So she will sleep on. We have one woman in the world.
Her health insurance card has been renewed. Her eldest son has now relocated from Kumasi to take care of her mom fully, but her second son has still not reached out. Another good news here is that Yaya's nephew, who is a police officer, got in touch and also donated a mattress.
I'm very happy that people helped my mother. May God bless them. My cousin reached out to help. He is a policeman. He wanted to be the first to present the mattress. So he came to donate. He came crying. He never reached out. But when he saw the story, he rushed here.
Yaya now has a phone. She received 8,000 cedis to be managed by her son and pastor in the community. Extra 11,700 cedis will be transferred to Yaya Kwanjet. This to ensure that the extra bulk money is not dissipated. To show her appreciation, she breaks into a song and a dance. Her son promised the money would be used judiciously. To all those who donated to Yaya Kwanjet, she sends a powerful prayer. This is not goodbye, but see you later. Jojo Kobna, Joy News.
That's indeed a touching story. Now, an aspiring NDC parliamentarian for Tafopan Krono is asking government to convert the Asokore Mampo affordable housing project site into a COVID-19 isolation center. Sahmuddin Mohammed Kamil says the move would be most prudent as the country mobilizes all its resources to fight the pandemic. He wants individuals to continue to support government in its effort to halt the spread of the virus. The University of Development Studies trained chemist spoke with Joy News' Mahmoud Muhammad Nuruddin after a meeting with staff of the Tafo Government Hospital.
The meeting followed a donation of support items to the hospital to aid in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic and routine healthcare delivery to Ghanaians.
In fact, we've heard in the news that about 4 doctors and some nurses have been infected with this disease. They are in the front line, so we must at all costs try to protect them by supplying them with the PPEs.
If you look at where the pandemic has really caught fire, about 10% of those affected and deaths are among the health workers, doctors, nurses, because we are the forefront fighting this disease. So if you've thought it wise to bring us protective clothing, protective gear, things which we can use to protect ourselves, then we are most grateful.
As confirmed cases of COVID-19 rise in Kumasi, Mr. Kame suggests the government convert Asakore Mampong affordable housing project in Ashanti region into isolation center.
We have affordable house at Eija. We can use that facility as an isolation center or a quarantine center. So we are calling on everybody to support in this fight.
A report by Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin.
Now, since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, individuals and corporate organizations continue to make significant contributions to fight to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Multipack Limited, the producers of Five Star Energy Drink and Perla Water, have also donated to the Ministry of the Interior and the COVID-19 Fund. There's more in the following report.
Management of Multipack Limited say the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic calls for a concerted effort by all to stem the tide. Head of Sales, Rabia Boji, who presented items worth 30,000 Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Interior, said the gesture is to boost the morale of the ministry in the fight against the pandemic. Items presented included bottles of water, sanitizers and hand soap, among others.
As we continue our support to all the sites, today we are at Ministry to donate the personal protective equipment to ensure the safety and the protection to the Ministry, and then to striving the limit of the spread of COVID-19. We will continue more and more. We have more sites and also more communities we are going to visit and then support to kick out the disease. It's around 30,000 Ghana cedi between water and then gloves, mask, and then the hand sanitizer and the hand soap. Multipack is a producer of Five Star Energy Drink, as I said, and Perla water, and then juices, all kind of soft drink and beverage, malt, juices, a lot is coming also. We are since 2006 in this country, and also we will look forward. We have many things coming forward by God will, and after this disease will end, we have new things to the market and then to the country. Stay home, stay safe, please. Assist with the government. It's very important to assist to help our homeland.
Chief Director Adelaide Anokumi, who received the items on behalf of the ministry, expressed gratitude and said the ministry will continue to work with all relevant stakeholders to ensure that all directives outlined by the government to fight the pandemic are adhered to.
We are grateful to Multipack for this gesture. You know, I mean, once we are in this fight, COVID-19 together, we warmly accept such gestures as a corporate social responsibility of companies that want to help Mother Ghana. This ministry, we have asked our staff, we've reduced the number of services. In fact, we've even cut down on the services that we provide to the general public. So we have a lean staff showing up every day so that at least we have this social distancing philosophy promoted. We also have a Veronica bucket and our table set up here to ensure that anybody who enters the premises washes his or her hands. We also have sanitizers. My minister is very religious when it comes to this. You must see him whenever he enters the compounds and he leaves the compound, how he religiously goes to the Veronica bucket area to wash his hands. So this shows to a very large extent the good leadership and as well as the discipline inculcated in us to ensure that we fight this pandemic together. By and large, we are on the ground working as well as our agencies.
Agape Kwenus report for Joy News.
An opinion leader in Mamo being the Ayawaso East municipality is asking residents in the area to do their best to observe the social distancing protocol to curb the spread of COVID-19. She says regardless of how close their homes are, the exercise can be adhered to. She said this when one of West Africa's largest IT companies, IPMC, distributed food and toiletries to homes in that area. Hannah Odami was with the team and has this report.
Nima and Mamobi are densely populated areas in the Ayawaso East municipality in the Greater Accra region. Many of the people rely on daily wages to enable them cater for themselves and families. After government directive for everyone to stay home, many of them say they've been left hungry, reason why they keep going out to work. But an opinion leader in the area, Aishatu Ayuba, a seamstress, has an advice for her people.
I am appealing to all of you to stay at home. I know we have to work, but it's impossible now. Let's help government to protect us.
To help ease the burden on the people here, IPMC Friday shared food and toiletries to over 500 residents in Nima and Mamobi. Amar Deep Hari is CEO.
Don't touch your face. Always wash your hands with soap for 20 seconds and keep social distancing. Stay 2 meters away. If we follow these 3 things, the virus will not get us.
What's your motivation for doing this for the people?
So as IPMC, we are one of the leading IT companies in Ghana, and we feel it is our corporate responsibility. We earlier did this in Ebola time. We also did it in the cholera time. And we are now coming to the aid of especially the informal sector, the people who live on daily wages, and they may be impacted heavily by the lockdown. We are trying to go to house, since everybody is asked to stay home. We don't tell them to come somewhere on the road, but we are going to their houses individually and ensuring they get some of the food items which we have brought them, and we are hoping that it will be of some assistance to them.
Abubakar Adam, a transport operator, was grateful for the gesture, but pleaded with government to ensure they get more food supplies because they have run out of stock and cannot go to work due to the lockdown.
I'm a GP RTU, but now we're there for the house. We need to go anywhere, and we are cast all packing. But I don't say money, other the food to come more. The food to come more. When I say money, no, the food to come more.
For Joy News, I am Hannah Odame.
Anti-Region Security Council has dropped hints it may review the enforcement arrangement as the partial lockdown goes into another week. It says this has become necessary to ensure strict compliance. Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah reveals experience from the first 2 weeks will guide the review. He refused to mention specific areas of the review, but maintains the new arrangement will enhance the enforcement of the lockdown. Nana Aljima has more in the following report.
Security officials had indicated enforcement of the lockdown is a humanitarian and not a combat operation. However, some excesses by deployed personnel amid incidents of defiance of the directive by some civilians have raised public concerns, though the president rates the exercise largely successful. Ashanti Regional Police Commander COP Kwesiduku says maintaining social distancing at various markets has been the major challenge.
The MCs are also doing their best, unless they're able to educate the market women to ensure that they observe the social distancing. That is what we expect everybody to do. Without the social distancing, unless we're able to achieve about 70% of the work done. So we entreat all to follow what the president has told all of us, so that together we will be able to eliminate this canker.
Those shift systems are being implemented in all markets to address the challenge. Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah believes a review will be needed to check recalcitrant persons.
There have been several reviews, and once there's an extension, we will meet and quickly re-strategize. There are several recalcitrant ones who are not prepared to obey some of the directives, especially in relation to social distancing and going out
to do only exempt activities. Some people have taken it like ordinary holiday, like today is maybe Good Friday in other areas without lockdown, where they will not go to work, but they can go out and do anything. This is different. Everybody must stay at home. With the help of God, definitely we'll win this battle.
Meanwhile, the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council has received sanitary items and an amount totaling 70,000 Ghana cedis on behalf of the COVID-19 Trust Fund. Entrepreneur Nana Kwadwo Jesi is donor.
Let us all try to support the health professionals. If you have the means, donate something. And also, let's stay home. Abiding by the protocols will help us get over this quickly.
President Akufo-Addo, Nana Akufo-Addo,
from Kumasi for Joy News, Nana Aljima reporting.
You're watching Joy News Prime. Now, Majority Leader and Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Osei Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu, has shot down suggestions the 2020 elections should be suspended as Ghana battles the COVID-19 pandemic. Some political pundits, including Ashanti Region MPP Chairman Bernard Antwi-Botiako, have been pushing the proposal. In a Facebook post, political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, Professor Ransford Jampo, also called for a full risk assessment on the implications of holding election 2020. He argues, among others, that by going ahead with the elections, Ghana risks several challenges that may undermine public health and lead to voting without choosing. Mr. Osei Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu says it is premature to talk about suspension of the polls.
My considered opinion is that it's too early in the day to call for any such thing. It's just about 4-5 weeks since we had this affliction, and we're walking up to it. We're doing our best to confront it. Let's see how it plays out. My considered opinion is too early to call for the suspension of the general elections. The MPP primaries is even hovering around. If it is possible to conduct the MPP primaries, it should be possible to conduct the general elections. But let's see how it plays out. And I wouldn't want at this stage in our national life to say that we should suspend the national elections. I think it is premature. Let's see how events play out. We're hoping that by the measures that we are putting in place, including the laws that Parliament has fashioned, the restrictions bill, the coronavirus trust funds, and the statement from the Minister responsible for finance, how the nation is preparing itself to combat the disease. Let's see what the combined efforts jointly produce. For now, anybody talking about, and December 7th is more than 7 months away. So it's, in my considered opinion, it is premature at this stage to begin to talk about rescheduling or postponing the general elections.
Priority should be on the collective effort of Ghanaians on how to save lives and not ordinary politicking.
Life and the financials. Life matters more than financials. Life matters more than social interactions. So let's protect ourselves first. Let's experience a rebound of our lives, the living conditions of Ghanaians, and then we can go back to our social existence. So life should, over and above everything, be the primus concern of all of us. So let's protect ourselves, let's protect lives, and let's ensure that we don't have this affliction. If we do, it will be apocalyptic. It will be Armageddon. And we should protect ourselves. I think that's the most important thing. Once you're able to conquer this disease in maybe the next 4 weeks, then we'll be able to make some solemn declarations. Until we get there, let's not over-exaggerate our strength. We are one people in one country and we have a common destiny. So let's see how to put our acts together to conquer this menace. And once we get it behind us, we'll see what to do with ourselves. If we want to draw swords after the menace is over and get to our old manners of politicking, that's another matter.
You're watching Joy News Prime. We're taking a break now to bring you more business. Stay tuned in.
Hello, welcome back. Some more business news for you on Joy News Prime. Now, OPEC producers and allies have agreed to cut output by around 10% to counter the slump in demand caused by coronavirus lockdowns. The group said it would cut output in May and June by 10 million barrels to help prop up prices. The cuts will then be eased gradually until April 2022. OPEC Plus, made up of OPEC producers and allies, including Russia, have been holding talks. Raymond Nwokpo is an analyst with the Institute for Energy Security and explains what the 10% cut in output means.
As of yesterday, there have been a deal to cut oil production by 10 million barrels per day. However, there is an issue that must be addressed because Mexico is not willing to be part of the agreement. And per OPEC regulation, if one member is not willing to be part of the deal, then the deal will not be finalized. So that went on yesterday, and today at the E20 Ministers of Energy meeting in Riyadh, the president of Mexico indicated that Mexico is now coming to the table because America is willing to help them to do their production cuts. A few minutes ago, too, America also decided to join the cut by 5 million barrels per day. So if you add the two, that's something in the region of 15 million barrels per day for the next 2 months. Now, in the baseline is good because it's going to boost prices on the crude market, and it's also going to help to pump up prices. So the idea is that this cut will ensure that prices are by $15 per barrel. So we are seeing something around 55 barrels per dollar at the end of the deal. However, note that the market is so saturated, the glut system is so rich that the market may not react to the cut. Therefore, as you see today, this even went down from 33 to 31. The market is not reacting very well. But we are still expecting at the end of the G20 meeting, prices will start going up, starting from since Saturday and Sundays are not trading days.
And we are told that the cuts will be eased gradually until April 2022. And so what happens after April 2022?
So the idea is that if they are able to cut production by 15 million barrels per dollar, before you reach 2022, prices will be able to come up to the level that the market will agree with. However, OPEC Plus is going to meet again in June 2020, review the deal that they are currently studying.
Okay, and so while we watch what is happening globally with OPEC Plus, sitting here in Ghana right at home, people are watching. Why should we be concerned about all that is playing out?
So for a Ghanaian, for government official, the idea is that at the beginning of the year, they're supposed to sell a barrel at $62. But because of the coronavirus and the supply growth, they're not selling it around 25, 26, 28. But with this production cut, prices are supposed to go up about 45. So that's a good news because we are going to get a marginal increase in our revenue. We're able to change our economy.
But that is only marginal. That is only marginal.
Yes, please. It's only marginal because the market is still saturated with pasture plant.
And that was conversation with Raymond Nwokpo, an analyst with the Institute for Energy Security. Let's move on now. Consolidated Bank Ghana has begun distribution of food items to selected communities affected by the lockdown. The 500,000 cedi fund for the purpose forms part of the bank's corporate social responsibility to reduce the burden of the vulnerable and disabled in these critical times. The distribution started from Adenta, Medina, and to Ashaiman here in the Greater Accra region. Ebenezer Sabote has more in this report.
The food items which were purchased from the allocated 500,000 cedis fund is the first batch for the community project. Other areas in the Ashanti region affected by the lockdown are also expected to receive food products soon. Here is Head of Corporate Communications at Consolidated Bank Ghana, Anita Opon Amega.
To bring them food items, so we have rice, we have oil, we have sugar, we have gari, we have tuna flakes, some biscuits, just to support them within the period they stay at home. And so an amount of our 500,000 has been committed to support 6 communities within Accra and Kumasi. We are providing foodstuffs, we are providing vitamins and other things to help them to stay at home, to ensure they stay at home and to curb COVID. So life is restored. So for us at CBG, the board of management, this is the way they stand with our customers. So when we say we stand with Ghanaians, this is how we are able to do that.
Municipal Chief Executive of Adenta, Alex Nino Adumwa, expressed confidence that this gesture will go a long way to help in the enforcement of the lockdown.
But hunger is no respecter of persons. And under this lockdown situation, there are people who will be suffering. There is going to be hot food that will come to them. We have identified some 2,000, 3,000 people who will get hot cooked food. We also will be getting some dry food packaged from government. Some of it will go through faith-based organizations to be distributed to various homes where we know they are disadvantaged. Then they will be able to cook for their families so that people do not move out during this lockdown period. Government is doing all it can to ensure that we defeat COVID-19. It is devastating in certain other areas, but if we go ahead of it and we are all taking precautions and taking care of ourselves, then we'll be able to defeat.
The team moves next to the Medina and Ashaman areas to continue the exercise.
And finally tonight, crude oil is hovering around $31 a barrel after headway in talks by major global oil producers. Take a look at the latest numbers on the commodity market. That ends business tonight. Gary Al Smith is coming up next with sports.
Happy Friday to everybody, and thank you for staying with us on Joy News Prime. I'm Gary Al Smith with the sport. We have more news coming, but first of all, did you know that today is International Siblings Day? It's the day, yes, you guessed it, that's been put aside for siblings, and we have a little quiz for you. I'll give you some questions, and then after the bulletin, get me the answers. So, those on the left, let me show those on the left. Yes, I want you to match the siblings of those on the left with the corresponding correct ones on the right. Very famous footballers, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 on the left have siblings on the right. So match them. Let me give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After the bulletin, I'll give you the correct answers and on International Siblings Day. Moving on to our first story though. The Black Stars are in the news. You might have heard about a week ago that Christian Atsu had quit the national team. Well, it turns out that it's not actually very accurate, because in the studio with us today was his manager, Abdul Hayalate, who clarified issues.
Christian have not discussed that with me, that he's pulling out of the Black Stars. When the news came over, I actually spoke to him as well, and he said he doesn't want to speak about it, that anybody who wants to know about what is actually true or false basically need to go through the head coach of the Black Star, because the person actually stated that he had a conversation with the head coach of the Black Star. So I think it is very important that we respect his opinion and his decision not to talk about this. Christian is one person who is very frequent when it comes to social media, and he normally wants to share his opinion on issues, but these are issues that concern him, and he have not even tweeted or said anything on Instagram about it, because he told me that he doesn't want to talk about it. And I cannot sit here and say this is Christian's position on this issue, but for me, this is my thinking. If everything is in the hands of the head coach, you need to give the boy an invitation. If you give Christian an invitation today to come and play a game, as a player you need to be very fit. If Christian is fit and then he turned down the invitation, then it means that Christian is not going to play with the Black Star. But if Christian is invited and then he comes, then he's a Black Star player. But he has not discussed anything with me saying that he's not part of the Black Star any longer.
Okay. That should settle it, right? He was speaking to Uriku Ampofo there earlier today. Moving on, and Heart of Folk board member Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo has weighed in on the discussion that has come up recently in the last fortnight or so about why footballers struggle after their careers. And he says one key factor is because of a lack of planning.
I think the biggest problem facing some of these young boys is planning. They definitely don't know how to plan their life. In any profession, and I believe they take football as their profession. In any profession, bad planning will definitely end you in a bad life. Any profession. Now, these days we hear of managers handling these small boys. So then, when they are brought to the club to be signed on, they get very handsome amounts of money, but they are not managed properly. Now, these managers get the lion's share of the money, and then they leave them to the club. They play for the club a year or two, and then either there's a repetition or they have the ambition to go outside, which many a time they get outside and they never get anywhere. They just become stool warmers all over Europe and Asia.
And as the Ghana Premier League has seen a return in the last 4 months or so, we've seen quite a number of players say that things have become a bit more exciting. Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo believes that actually there are more players abroad who want to come back home to play.
Numerous offers from boys who have been outside the country and they have failed and they have come back, including Hearts of Folk players. But I'm telling you, the present leadership of Hearts of Folk will not jump just to take them. But we know they are bent out. You follow me? What must be done now is maybe to explain things to these boys that in any profession, you just don't jump from point one to point million. You start gradually.
So now, time to give you the answers to that Siblings Day quiz. For those of you who have followed football for the last, 20 years or so, this will not be too difficult. So, Yaya Toure is number 1 on the left, and his brother is number 4 on the right, Kolo Toure. Both of them have won the AFCON, obviously, for La Côte d'Ivoire. Hossam Hassan, the legendary Egyptian player, and his twin, Ibrahim Hassan, are 2 and 3. And then we've got Musa Kalon of Sierra Leone Fair and his son, who is far more famous than he is, Mohamed Kalon. And then there's, of course, Ghana captain Andre Ayew with his brother, Jordan. So Andre is number 4, Jordan is number 1, and we've got Ined Insakni of Tunisia and his more famous brother Youssef Insakni, who they like to call the Tunisian Leo Messi. So that's about it for the International Siblings Day. How many answers did you get? Be honest, out of 5, right? I'm Gary Al Smith. Let's keep the conversation going on myjoyonline.com and on Joy Sports social media handles. You have yourself a great Easter weekend. Stay at home if you can, and all the best.
All right, so that'll be it for the Bulletin. I'm Israel Lai, as always, anchoring from home, and it's been good doing this with you, Aisha.